Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter. Parineeti Chopra, so good to see you, Pari. How are you doing? I've been seeing the Instagram and I realized you're quarantining solo. You're home alone, so to speak, in a beautiful home though.
Thank you. Solo journey. It's so weird that just today I put up all these pictures of my house, which I never do. Whenever I put up even a little bit of a snippet, the fans always say, please show us more pictures and all. But I just don't want to do a photo shoot at this house and I just want to keep it to myself. I've become more private as I'm growing old, I've realized.
But this is the new home, right? This is the one you recently
This is my new home. Yeah, this is my new home in Khar, near Bandra, for all those who are not from Bombay. But yeah, and so like I am solo. I'm very good at me time, so I've had a blast, honestly. But it's starting to get monotonous, and I don't want to be one of those people who who are privileged and yet complaining that we are getting bored at home and all. Nothing of that sort. I think I'm blessed that I have the means to be able to just wait it out, this quarantine. But it's starting to get a little monotonous. It's starting to get a little difficult, like keeping the house clean all day, washing the dishes, cooking whatever little I can. I cannot cook, but just a little bit.
That was going to be my next question.
I mean, I'm a chef by survival. Because honestly, if you tell me to make a toast, I will definitely have to do it 3 or 4 times because I'll burn all of them. Like, I'm that bad. I might have every other talent in the world, but it is not in the cooking department. But just been watching YouTube videos, and all my friends who are chefs, like I call them chefs now because they to me are God. They have been like FaceTiming me and giving me like recipes, and I've been cooking live with them because what are you going to do?
That is when director's wife isn't sending you idlis, because we saw that, right?
Yes. So Deepa ma'am, love you Deepa ma'am. She has been sending me idlis. Actually, both my directors have been really helpful because Amol's wife Deepa sent me idlis, and Ribu Dasgupta, who is the best chef in the world, has been sending me food every day. And my manager and friend Neha, she's been sending me food every day. So God bless these three, because without them, I would not have any food in my house. So I love you all.
Is your mother saying, I had told you to learn some cooking when you were growing up?
My mother is saying, Shukar hai Bhagwan ka, finally she has entered the kitchen. Rajeev, honestly, I have so many interests in my life. Like, I love to puzzle, and I love to break codes, and I love to read, and I love to watch shows, and I have so many other interests that the kitchen was something I never entered.
And I never even needed it because why do we just expect that the girls have to learn that? We never asked that to, and we are guilty of it.
Yeah. It was nothing to do with a girl or boy thing. The two things that I've not learned in my life are cooking and a sport. These are two things that never existed in my life, and now both these things exist in my life. So truly, life mein kuch bhi ho sakta hai. I have realized this quarantine.
But, you had a movie that was just going to come out. You had Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, which was going to come out literally. It was going to come out like a few days after, what was made, until lockdown, of course, came, and that couldn't happen. And you have 2 films that you finished shooting. You have Girl on the Train, and you have the Saina Nehwal biopic, which you of course shot. So you were in the middle of many things.
I mean, a lot of work.
This would have been a busy time had the world been normal, wouldn't it?
Can I tell you a story? We were on day 2 of promoting Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, and at this very position where I'm sitting, I wake up really early in the morning, like 6 o'clock, whether or not I'm going to shoot. And I woke up in the morning, and that day I was reading about coronavirus, and just somehow something happened in my head, and I suddenly got really scared. And I called up my PR guys, and I said, guys, I really feel I cannot come into promotions today. And they were like, what are you saying? We're in the middle of promotions. So I said, no guys, there's this thing, this coronavirus, I think it's getting really serious. So at that time we had like 5 or 7 cases in Bombay. Like we had nothing. And they were like, it's in the hospitals, it's all safe, don't worry, it's not going to happen. Like we just thought it's Ebola 2 or SARS 2. We didn't really think it would become what it's become today. And even then they were very supportive, and they said, look, if you're not comfortable, don't come into work today, but we're going to continue to work. And I remember reading these stories from Italy saying, don't start canceling birthday parties, start canceling weddings. We are in a mess, like stop going out, stop meeting people. And it really hit me hard. And here I am about to go for promotions where there are hundreds of media people, our teams, Arjun's teams, Yashraj team, like production teams, like we're meeting 200 people a day. And that's the day I went to work with a real fear in my heart. And I spoke to them and I said, guys, I don't want to be infected with this stupid disease. Please let me be home. And that day we took a decision to cancel promotions, wait it out for a couple of days. And sure enough, 4 days later, our prime minister came and said, we need to start reacting to this because it is such a scary thing. The way it has unfolded, nobody knew this was going to happen. So to answer your question, I didn't really think about my films at that time.
Right.
It became like a reaction to a war announcement, that somebody has attacked us, now hide in your homes. I was so scared. Like even talking about it right now gives me goosebumps because I'm such a paranoid person in life, and this really scared me. And even now, Rajeev, there's no end in sight. Like,
Correct.
Who knows how this is going to end? Who knows when it's going to end? Who knows when life is going to be normal? Maybe we have to get out of our homes when it's still not normal.
Right.
And, I can't fearlessly just sit on a plane, go for a holiday, or, just go for shoot today, or just go to a Starbucks and have coffee. I can't do these things anymore because I'm so afraid. Yeah. So I don't know where it's going to go, and the films will come out in the right time. I really, honestly, I can't make my quarantine problems to be मेरी picture release नहीं हुई, even though it's a huge loss to the industry. I think it's a huge loss to the world, and that's what I'm focusing on right now, not my film releases. I'm sure that they will come out when the time is right,
I feel like you're finding solace and you're finding your happiness in looking back, in throwbacks. I see on your Instagram you're putting up pictures of better days, of whether it's whether it's your national award, the special mention national award that you won for Ishak Zadeh, whether it's moments with friends, whether it's I think it was a Disneyland or a theme park picture that you put up. So is that what it is? I mean, sort of revisiting better days.
Absolutely, because they just feel so far away now. It just feels like, when did we do all this? Like right now, I have anxiety going to, like I said, a coffee shop because I feel like I don't know how to meet so many people at one time anymore. I've already forgotten that. I may be sounding dramatic, but I actually mean it. Like, imagine if I told you, Rajeev, you and I, we're going to Disneyland tomorrow. How would you feel? Doesn't that give you a jerk in the stomach? Like, doesn't it give you a very weird feeling? Which just means that, see, human beings adapt to everything. We've suddenly adapt to this solo life. Even if you're living with your family, you've just seen the same four faces for the past 2 months. Right. So imagine if I told you, let's go to Juhu Beach today. Like, how would you feel about that? So I'm looking at these pictures and I don't recognize them anymore. I just feel like, when did I do all this? When did I go to a Universal Studios and eat stuff from carts and touch all the rides that everybody touched? It's such a weird mind fuck. Sorry for the language, but it's such a weird feeling for me. So that's why I think everything that we are now appreciating, I'm looking back and looking back at how easy we had it. Life was really on our side and in our favor, and now just look what has happened. Like, it's really a slap in the face of humanity.
Yeah. Do you miss work? Do you miss doing what you loved, being on a set?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I miss the routine of the chaos that we all live in. I'm sure you know it. You're juggling 10 things at a time. Yeah. And now we don't know how to pass one single hour. And all of us are not used to that. We are used to having 10 things happening and so many people around us. And even though I've always said it, I've always showed off about the fact that I'm a very homely person, so I'm very good at me time. But I've realized, I'm going to say something really dramatic, I've realized why in prison solitary confinement is the highest level of punishment. Because it is truly a punishment for a human being to be alone. And you take it for granted. You take people for granted. You don't realize they are required for your survival. Yeah. I've realized it so much that just meeting a person for half an hour can just change my day. I can be recharged and do this quarantine all over again. Just meeting that one person for an hour. Right. That day I wore my face mask and my gloves and everything, and I went out to do some grocery shopping just because I wanted to get out of my house. Correct. And I saw so many people in the store and I felt so uncomfortable, and I was touching the credit card machine and I was feeling so paranoid, and I was just like, how we took this for granted, you know, and we really need to pull our socks up and learn how to appreciate life, you know.
We're also learning to adjust to new things, right? We were chatting earlier, just before we setting this up, about how we're doing this interview, right? I mean, you were telling me the tripod that you've created for your phone is you must send me a picture so we can put it up and show.
100%. I need to send you a picture of this tripod that I have made, which is the most jugadu tripod on earth. Because it consists of all the sturdy things in my house, you know, from candles to water bottles to books to everything. And it just, again, it makes you appreciate, like I appreciate my team so much more now, because I feel like they made my life so easy, and, you know, these things were done for me. All I had to do was come and sit in an interview. And today, just doing an interview with you will take me 1 hour of prep. And I think if anything, Rajeev, I think this quarantine is going to make us more humble and grateful about everything. And I think that could be the best lesson. I know a lot of people are in the race to really achieve something during this quarantine and come back like Iron Man after this, but no, I mean, you can be real, and just if you just remember that there is this one life that has been gifted to you, and you learn how to live life after this quarantine, I will consider it a success.
Are you missing all your badminton sessions? You spent a big chunk of last year learning badminton, no?
So Khar Gym is literally under my building, and now I have given away the address of my building. That's okay. It's literally under my building. So imagine I just look down and I'm like, I can't be on those courts, and I hate going to the gym. I hate working out in those monotonous ways. I just can't do 10 reps and 30 reps. It's intolerable to me. But badminton I really used to enjoy, because I used to play for 2 hours a day, learning something new. And I'm that person, if my mind is occupied, I can do the same thing for 8 hours. I don't realize where the time flies. So badminton was that, and I think I was getting really good at it, from like 0 to at least 10% better. And it suddenly stopped. So yeah, my plan is to get back to it immediately. I plan to continue badminton even after the film releases, that it's gone. Like, badminton will always remain in my life now.
I have to ask you before we go, you know, we're just finding anything that makes us happy, anything that uplifts our mood. So one of the things that makes us happy is music. Now, as it turns out, you're a pretty good singer.
I see where this is going.
You see where this is going? Now, I actually really love this one song. And as it turns out, you actually sang that song yourself in your film. This is from Meri Pyari Bindu. Mana Ke Yaham Yaar Nahi. It's just such an incredible song. You have to give us that before we go. I think you sang that beautifully. So please give us a little bit.
So sweet. Okay. This was not me being dramatic, me actually clearing my throat. Okay. But let's go for it. Rajeev, you have to sing with me.
Oh God.
You make everyone sing, but you have to.
That's the point at which people will turn off their television.
See, the thing is that if I can cook, then you can sing. Because if I can cook, then anything can happen in this world.
Achha, you do the first line. We don't want people to tune off in the first line only.
Okay, fine. माना कि हम यार नहीं, लोते हैं कि प्यार नहीं, माना कि हम यार नहीं, लोते हैं कि प्यार नहीं, फिर भी नजरें ना तुम मिलाना, दिल का एतबार नहीं, माना कि हम यार नहीं.
How lovely that was.
You ditched me. You didn't sing with me.
Because I wanted people to actually enjoy it, and that was beautiful. There's no way I could have matched up to that or even come close. That was wonderful, Pari. That was really lovely.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
The next time will be face to face. The next time will be in person, hopefully.
Not with the mask, but.
We'll take whatever we can get, right?
Maybe.
We'll take whatever we can get. Yeah. You've got a big year coming up. I mean, it may go over. We don't know what's going to happen, but you've got 3 films.
But I've got important films coming up, and I hope they are released in the way they deserve, and I hope that they don't have a compromised release. And fingers crossed for all the other films. We've all worked so hard because we make films for a theatre experience or whatever. and now there are various platforms that everybody's considering. So I hope every film gets the release that they deserve.
You wouldn't be very happy if they went straight to a service, is it? Straight to
I
streaming?
think it depends on the film. I think
Right.
some films are made for the theatrical experience, and that's how they've been shot, because we never imagined this would happen.
Right.
But of course, if some producers decide to go ahead with an OTT release, I mean, that's their call. They own the film. So
Right.
it depends. It honestly depends on my producers. I have Yashraj and T-Series and Reliance right now, so I trust them to take the right calls for my films,
Right.
honestly.
Well, they're all
Fingers
interesting films. Fingers crossed, and I'm sure we'll be chatting soon. This
Thank
way,
you.
in person, somehow or the other. But looking
Yes,
forward.
absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.